Welcome to Game Theorem, where we have serious discussions about absurd entertainment.
Do fairies really have tails? Do they even exist? Like them, this place is an eternal mystery. A never-ending adventure. Makarov Dreyer, the third master.
All right.
I tried my best old person impression. But yeah, we're doing Fairy Tail again.
Yep.
This is our follow-up to our Fairy Tail deep dive episode where we talked about the story of the anime and manga called Fairy Tail.
Yep, mostly just the backstory because there was so much of it.
Yes, last time we just did backstory. This time we're going to be talking, we're going to start off with the actual, first episode of the show and start talking about the present events throughout the show.
Finally.
But we'll be going a lot faster than the show, especially because most of it's just fighting.
Yeah, that's true.
So we won't be focusing too much on, the choreography of the fights, just the outcomes. Are you excited about this one, Kira?
Yep. Back to Fairy Tail.
So, to recap where we left off, just in case anyone didn't listen to the first one, the world is called Earthland, the country is called Fiore, there's guilds, but there's also a magic council and a kingdom that...
And there's magic.
Yes, magic is a thing. I forgot to mention that. Many different types of magic that all diversified from the original one. There's a lot of evil, dark, sinister groups that are wanted by the kingdom or the magic council.
Yeah, and they're all one-dimensional assholes who just want power.
And there's
Most of them.
One of the guilds is Fairy Tail, which was founded a long time ago. And the Fairy Tail's going to be the main faction of the story. They're the hero faction, essentially.
Yeah, and they're one of the biggest and most popular guilds.
Yes, Makarov Dreyer is the third master that runs the place, takes in a whole bunch of magic people, many of which we explained their backstories in the last episode, so go check that one out if you want. But now we'll be following up with it. We can mention characters as we go. There's a Natsu, Hothead, Gray, the Ice Wizard, Lucy, the rich Celestial Girl, etc. There's many characters that all had their complicated backstories and everything. Don't expect any more of that.
Yeah.
No more backstory, no more character development.
Yep.
Well, okay, some character development. In fact, the few times that it happens are what we're really going to be the gems in this episode. But I'll be honest, Kira, I think I'm going to prefer the last one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, because their backstory is oftentimes the most interesting thing about these characters.
Yeah, also a warning. Well, there isn't really that much bad stuff in here.
Just violence.
Yeah, very heteronormative, so look out for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you ready to get into this, Kira? All right, we'll alternate. We'll just go through the story. Feel free to comment as we go.
I will.
So next we're going to be doing the Makeo arc. Each of the story is broken down into different arcs, as, most stories are, but these ones are explicitly named.
Yep.
So let's do this.
All right. You start.
So Mest Grider of Fairy Tail used his memory magic to wipe the entire guild's memories, including his own, but not including Makarov's, the master, and he changed his identity to Doranbolt so that he could infiltrate the Magic Council.
Lucy Heartfilia became a celestial wizard just like her mother.
Well, actually, sorry, he's not that agent yet. He's infiltrating the Magic Council from Fairy Tail. And only the master knows about it.
Yeah, okay. Lucy Heartfilia became a celestial wizard like her mother with the celestial spirits Aquarius, Taurus, Cancer, Crux, Horologium, and Lyra.
Right, because we had already mentioned there's the Zodiac spirits, but there's also a bunch of other ones. In the year X784, Lucy bought a silver key that summoned a Nakora in Hargion, the city, the port town, I think, when she saw a wizard calling himself Salamander, who was using illegal magic to charm girls.
Yes, by the way, this magic is interesting in that it doesn't work if you know the user is using it.
It's also illegal because it violates free will and whatnot.
Yes. She ran into Natsu Dragneel and Happy, who were looking for his long-lost father, Igneel.
And Happy is the Xseed cat. We can't remind them about everything. We're going to have to kind of stop doing that.
Yeah.
But unless it's important. Salamander told Lucy that he'd show her the way to the Fairy Tale Guild if she came to his party on his ship.
Lucy was captured, and Salamander revealed himself as Bora, a wizard who enslaves women.
So Natsu fought Bora. Natsu won.
Natsu saved Lucy for the first time, but definitely not the last, and took her to Fairy Tale in Magnolia.
Lucy met the members there and ended up joining Fairy Tale herself.
Natsu took a job to go after a member of Fairy Tale named Mikao Combolt, who hadn't come back from his last job yet, which was wearing his son Romeo Combolt.
Lucy followed Natsu and Happy on their mission to find Mikao, who was last seen in the mountains fighting some Vulcan creatures.
A Vulcan attacked the group and kidnapped Lucy, taking her to his cave. For those keeping count, this is the second Lucy kidnapping.
Are you going to keep track of that?
Yes, that would be hilarious. I'm totally going to do that.
Okay, just say like number 2 or something.
Yeah.
Lucy summoned... Oh, by the way, everything's supposed to be past tense.
Oh, sorry.
Just to keep things straight. It'll be important later on. Lucy summoned Taurus to fight the Vulcan when Natsu found them. By the way, as we bring up these spirits, I just want to explain. Taurus is the bull zodiac key, and it's a cow that is very...
He's like a barbarian. He's really strong and uses an axe.
Would you say that he's a misogynist?
Kind of. He kind of lusts after Lucy.
At best, a well-meaning misogynist.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so Natsu and Taurus versus Vulcan. Natsu won.
The Vulcan turned into Mikao, having possessed his body.
And then Natsu, Happy, and Lucy take Mikao back to Fairy Tale, and he's reunited with his son.
Happily ever after. Okay, now we're on the Daybreak arc. That one was really just an intro.
Yeah.
Lucy made a contract with her Nickera, naming him Plu, the latest spirit that she gets.
All right, Lucy, Natsu, and Happy formed a team to take on a new job to destroy a book named Daybreak.
They got the details of the job from their client, KB Mellon, and went to the Everlew mansion, where Everlew, the man who owned the book Daybreak, lived.
They infiltrated the place and were attacked by Everlew's maids, which Natsu defeated.
They found the book, but were discovered by Everlew and his guards, the Vanish Brothers.
Natsu versus the Vanish Brothers. Natsu won.
Lucy took the book and ran, having discovered a secret about it. Everlew followed her and attacked her.
Everlew revealed he is also a celestial wizard and summoned Virgo.
Virgo was essentially a maid, a woman.
Yes.
Because, in the Zodiacs, one of the creatures is a human woman.
Yes, and she takes on the appearance of whoever, that is most...
She takes on the appearance that is most attractive for her owner. So she is a really heavy-set, overweight, and muscular giant woman, because that kind of matches Everlew's description.
Because he's into that.
Yep. So Lucy Cancer... Oh, we didn't mention Cancer. So Lucy Spirit Cancer, he's a crab guy. He has crab arms, but often he uses scissors to cut people's hair and also cut people's bodies. So Lucy Cancer, Happy, and Natsu fought Everlew and Virgo, and then Lucy Cancer, Happy, and Natsu, the Fairy Tale guys, they won.
They took the book back to the person who gave them the job, and it turns out there was a spell on it that turned it into a story dedicated to KB Mellon by his father. Yeah,
it was like a code, magic code. So they rejected the reward as they didn't want to destroy the book, and they gave it back to the client in its original form. But because of that, they didn't destroy it, they didn't get the money. So they went back to Fairy Tale.
Yes. Lucy was very upset that they just didn't accept the money at the time.
Being poor will be a returning theme.
Yeah, recurring.
Yes. Okay, next we have the Lullaby arc.
Yep.
We're going through these pretty quickly because we're skipping all the, 5-episode long fights.
Yeah.
All right.
So Urza asks Natsu, Gray, Lucy, and Happy to join her on her next job to stop the Dark Guild Eisenwald from acquiring Lullaby, one of Zeref's demons.
We forgot to mention Zeref in the recap, but he's the big evil wizard that people are afraid of. Yes. And Urza is the coolest woman in the Fairy Tale Guild.
She's both of our favorite characters.
And, dark guilds are guilds that are not official because they kill people. Mm-hmm. So Kageyama, a shadow magic user from Eisenwald, attacked Natsu on a train and acquired Lullaby, the demon, in its flute form.
Mm-hmm. Natsu versus Kageyama. Natsu escaped.
At the train station, Team Natsu, so that's, the team we mentioned earlier, they confronted the entirety of Eisenwald, including Aragorn, Kageyama, Raoul, Karaka, Biard, Snarl, and Chicken. They engaged in battle.
Mm-hmm. Team Natsu was trapped in the train station, and Aragorn went to assassinate a meeting of guild masters with Lullaby.
Natsu fought Kageyama, Natsu won, and spared Kageyama.
Lucy contracted Virgo, who helped them escape the train station.
We should also mention that at this point, Virgo changes her form to be the most appealing female body for Lucy. Even though, Lucy's extremely hetero, Virgo then gets an extremely attractive female body.
Yeah, she's basically a copy of Lucy, except with short pink hair and blue eyes.
Yeah. So Natsu fought Aragorn. Natsu won.
Kageyama was about to play Lullaby, but Makarov and Natsu convinced him to surrender.
Lullaby, however, was frustrated by all this and transformed under its own power into its giant demon form.
So, yeah, Natsu, Gray, and Urza fought Lullaby, and the Fairy Tale Wizards won. Natsu, Gray, and Urza.
Yeah, Lullaby had already been so weakened, and by that point in its flute form or something.
Yeah, there was something about that.
They defeated it pretty easily.
Yeah.
Team Natsu got lost on the way back and discovered an abandoned village that came to life. Makarov reversed the spell and saved everybody.
Mm-hmm. Upon returning, Urza and Natsu were arrested for the damage done, but they were let out of jail after a short time.
All right. And that's that one. Next, we are on the Galuna Island arc. We are really blazing through this.
Yep.
So feel free to give some commentary.
I just think the beginning ones are just kind of like one-off fights.
True.
Because, okay, so this is them versus Eisenwald. So, Team Fairy Tale versus Eisenwald.
But most of the background, aside from Kageyama and Aragorn, you didn't even really find out anything about them. I guess we could mention Aragorn had wind magic, but, fire magic beat that, apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
The elemental magics are weird.
It doesn't matter. Natsu always wins. Eventually.
Yes, that's true. Also, does this count as the third time Lucy was kidnapped because she was trapped in the station, or does it not count? Unless she specifically gets kidnapped by someone. What do you think?
Nah, don't count it.
All right. So we're still on 2 so far.
Okay.
This will be fun.
So Natsu, Lucy, Happy, and Gray went to Galuna Island when they accepted an S-class job that was above their skill level.
They weren't supposed to accept S-class jobs.
Yeah, Urza's S-class, not them.
Yes, so yeah, they're not allowed to do that, but they went and did it anyway, because Natsu. All right, Team Natsu met the villagers on Galuna Island that were half demon from a side effect of the moon drip ritual.
Which was a thing going on at the time.
Yes, on the island.
Yeah, so Team Natsu explored and discovered the frozen Deliora and the moon drip ritual. Deliora, again, one of those demons that Zeref made long ago.
Mm-hmm. And when they discovered this, Gray discovered his old friend Leon was behind this.
Yeah, because we mentioned that he was the one trying to revive Deliora so that he could be the one to kill it.
Yeah.
Selfish.
Yeah, and Gray fought Leon, and Leon actually won.
So Sherry Blindy, with her doll magic, assisted Leon by trying to kill the entire village with acidic jelly.
Yeah, Team Natsu protected the village from being destroyed.
Yuka Suzuki and Tobi Horhorda confronted Natsu to stop him.
Natsu fought Yuka and Tobi, and Natsu won.
Yuka had nullifying magic, but Natsu was able just to beat him up.
Yeah.
And then Tobi is a dog person with poison claws, but beat him up. They never really explained the people that are kind of part animal. Apparently, it's just a form of magic is to be part animal.
Yeah. There was chicken in the last arc.
Yeah, there was a chicken person. We'll find cat people, and then there's this guy's a dog person.
No, there's no cat people, just Exeats.
Meliana. She has cat ears.
Oh yeah, and a tail, doesn't she?
Which we haven't gotten to her.
She's great. I like her.
All that we mentioned was that she was She was one of the kids that had been kidnapped in her youth, just like Urza was. So, anyway, next, Lucy, Taurus, Plu, and Aquarius fought Sherry. So Aquarius is like Lucy's main spirit. She's the zodiac key Lucy inherited from her mother, right? And she's essentially a mermaid. But they do not get along very well.
No.
And because of that, they both lost. Like, Aquarius sabotaged the fight.
Yeah, and Urza intervened and saved Lucy. Sorry, I didn't mean to take
That's
that.
all right.
All right. And then Natsu fought Leon, but neither won.
Yeah, that's going to be a recurring thing as well when neither wins. It basically just means the fight got interrupted by the next thing. Because Ultir shows up and disguised herself as a man named Zalti. She used her Arc of Time magic to assist Leon. And
then Natsu versus Zalti. Zalti won.
Time magic kind of overpowered.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Gray fought Leon, and Gray won this time.
Yep. All right. The Moonship ritual completed, reviving Deliora, but it was so deteriorated that it crumbled immediately.
Because the ice had been, like, sapping it of its power the entire time. It was... It had just woken up from cryostasis, whatever.
Yeah.
It died easily. Just like Lullaby. Urza crushed the glassy residue of the moon drip, ending the curse for Galuna Island, turning the residents back into their demon forms.
Because they were actually originally demons.
Turns out the curse was not that they turned half demon, it was that they turned half human.
Yeah. And they didn't remember this until it was broken.
Exactly. But hey, they saved the day regardless of who the clients were.
All right. And the villagers rewarded Team Natsu, but mainly Lucy, with the Zodiac key for Sagittarius.
Yes. He's basically a Japanese man, but he's an archer with a horse costume and a horse head.
Yeah. He's in a horse costume.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's something cultural in Japan I'm just not getting.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, next we have the Phantom Lord arc. Man, we still have 40 minutes in this podcast? Oh my goodness, we're going to be done with this in like 2 episodes. I did not realize how simple this was. Okay.
Yeah.
Team Natsu arrived back at Fairy Tail and discovered it was attacked by the Phantom Lord Guild. This one's a legitimate guild. Specifically, the Iron Dragon Slayer Gajiel.
Another member of Phantom Lord, Rogue the Shadow Dragon Slayer, looked up to Gajiel.
Gajiel attacked again, pinning Levy McGarden, Jet, and Droy to trees in the public park. Those were 3 Fairy Tail members.
Makarov declared Fairy Tail at war with Phantom Lord.
Lucy tended to the injured Fairy Tail members while the rest of the guild invaded Phantom Lord's guild hall.
During the invasion, Gajiel arrived and joined the fray.
Lucy was captured by 2 of Phantom Lord's Element 4, which was like their elite group. They didn't have S-Class. So they were captured by Juvia Loxer and Soul. Juvia, they're the Element 4. Juvia represented water. It rained constantly whenever she was nearby. Soul represented Earth.
Yes, and this is number 3, by the way.
Oh, number 3?
Yeah, this is the 3rd time she's been kidnapped.
All right.
I swear to God, her name might as well be Princess Peach.
That's a good one.
She's blonde, too. She just doesn't have the blue eyes. What? They look similar.
I don't know, maybe one day we can have an episode talking about blonde stereotypes.
Yeah, I suppose.
I wouldn't think that we'd have to do that about a hair color, but I mean, we're starting to see the patterns.
Yep. Elfman and Natsu fought Gajiel, but neither won.
Makarov tried to confront Phantom Lord's guildmaster, Jose Porla, only to be met with an illusion and have his magic powers stolen by the Element 4's Arya. He had wind powers and could suck magic out of people.
Fairy Tail retreated, carrying Makarov to safety so he could heal.
Natsu learned of Lucy's kidnapping and headed to where she was being held.
Lucy is told by Jose
Yes.
that the attack on Fairy Tail was only to capture her because her father hired them to bring her home.
Thanks, rich dad.
Yeah.
Lucy tricked Jose and escaped out of her really, what's the word? Elevated cell. It was really high up in the sky.
Natsu catches Lucy and they return to Fairy Tail.
Does that count as an... Yeah, no.
No.
We're not counting the amount of time she's saved, just the amount of time she's kidnapped.
Yeah.
Phantom Lord's headquarters headed towards Fairy Tail on mechanical legs and fired its Jupiter cannon at them.
Urza blocked the blast with her adamantium armor and is heavily injured.
It was heavily injured?
Yeah, she was.
Jose gave them 15 minutes to hand over Lucy before the Jupiter cannon would be fired again.
Fairy Tail refused to give Lucy up.
So Mira Jane knocked Lucy out and had her taken to a secret Fairy Tail hideout by Redis Jonah. He had art powers and wasn't very useful for fighting.
Yeah. And Natsu and Happy went inside the Phantom Lord headquarters to stop the Jupiter cannon.
Totemaru of the Element 4, he had fire magic, confronted Natsu and as he tried to destroy the Jupiter cannon.
Alright, so Natsu fought Totemaru and Natsu won.
This is mostly because as a fire dragon slayer, he could eat fire for sustenance. So...
Wasn't Totemaru like...
What?
Fire? He just had regular fire, or was he god fire?
He was just a fire wizard.
Ah, okay.
So Natsu was able to basically eat up his fire.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Okay.
He tried to defend it by using stinky fire.
To make Natsu sick.
But Natsu still beat him up anyway. So Natsu then destroyed the Lacrima that was powering the Jupiter cannon.
Alright, Jose turned the Phantom Lord headquarters into a giant robotic wizard called Super Mage Giant Phantom Mark II.
Anime.
Yeah.
Gray and Elfman fought Totemaru. Gray and Elfman won.
The robotic wizard began casting Abyss Break, a very powerful spell powered by the Element 4.
It's not clear what it would have done, but it's clear it would have been deadly. Or that they were trying to cast this really deadly spell. Mira Jane attempted to fool Jose into thinking that she was Lucy, and she ended up failing and getting captured by the robot's hand.
Yeah, Gray, Elfman, and Natsu attempted to find a way to stop Abyss Break.
And then Elfman fought Soul, and Elfman won yet again.
Elfman saved Mira Jane, and she realized that defeating the Element 4 would stop Abyss Break.
Did you skip the part where Elfman almost went nuts?
I did not think it relevant.
Oh, because remember, Elfman vowed to never take on his full beast form again.
Yeah, but he ended up having to in this fight.
Right, but Mira Jane managed to make him keep his cool.
Yeah.
So this is when he first goes beast form ever since Lizana went away. So Gray fought Juvia, and he won.
Because she... Sorry.
When he beat her up so badly that her magic dried up and she wasn't able to use her rain powers anymore, it stopped raining for the first time in her life. And she instantly fell for him.
Yep. Because he was the one who
gave her the sun.
For the first time in her life.
Yep. Whatever. Next.
Yeah.
Actually, I did think that was kind of romantic, but...
Yes, but the way they treat it afterward is the problem.
Although the beating up is problematic.
I guess...
Well, she was opposing him.
And she did kind of give up. Like, she just stopped fighting him. And
kind of.
Yeah. But... The problem with this ship isn't the way it starts.
It's the way it never ends.
Yes. All right, so Elfman and Mira Jane met up with Gray.
Natsu fought Arya, and Arya almost won.
Urza appeared to help Natsu.
So then Urza fought Arya in Natsu's place, and Urza barely won.
And then Abyss Break was stopped.
Because the Element 4 had all been defeated. So Gajiel brought Lucy to Jose, having defeated Redis, who had been protecting her.
Okay, so this is 4? We're counting this as a separate time.
Oh, because he was kidnapped. She was kidnapped from Redis. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is 4.
Okay.
2 in the same arc. All right. Jose announced he had Lucy and went to defeat the remaining Fairy Tail members that were inside the headquarters.
So Gray, Elfman, Mira Jane, and Urza all fought Jose, and Jose nearly won.
But Natsu went to save Lucy and was confronted by Gajiel, who was guarding her.
Natsu fought Gajiel, and Natsu won. I should mention that since, the whole Iron Dragon Slayer versus fire, like, Natsu eats fire. Gajiel eats iron.
Yeah.
So he was able to eat like components of the structure to regain himself, but still not to beat him.
Yep. Makarov was finally healed, and he rushed off to help Fairy Tale. He was revealed by he was healed by.
Was it Poryusica?
Yeah, he was healed by her, I think.
She was an old friend of his. Mm-hmm. It was revealed that Mystigan helped heal Makarov by collecting his scattered magic power, and that he had also defeated all of Phantom Lord's other locations across Fiore.
Yep.
While they were beating up the headquarters, Mystigan's just like, yeah, I'll take out everyone else. Mystigan, remember, is one of the other S-class wizards.
Yeah, because he showed up with like a ton of Phantom Lord flags
that he had stolen.
Yeah.
So Makarov then shows up into the fight and confronted Jose.
Makarov versus Jose. Makarov won by using Fairy Law, which is a powerful spell that only worked on those the user considered an enemy.
Right, derived from the Law spell that Mavis had used long ago. Mm-hmm. Lucy went home and confronted her father and returned to Fairy Tale afterwards.
Yeah, she basically told her father to F off and let her live her life.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Makarov was put on trial by the Magic Council.
It didn't really amount to much, though. Phantom Lord was officially disbanded by the Magic Council, and Fairy Tale was declared innocent.
Yep.
That was a good arc.
Yeah, I kind of like that arc. It was interesting.
The stakes were pretty serious.
Yes. And the whole backstory of Lucy's dad coming in the picture and trying to get her was interesting because that was part of Lucy's backstory we didn't know at this point.
Right. I also think it talks about the world and like, oh, there's a hot guild war going on. That's not good.
Yes, because inter-guild war battle was outlawed.
Forbidden.
Yeah.
Right. But Phantom Lord started it, so...
So the Magic Council was like, Phantom Lord started it, so...
Exactly.
Yeah, you just ended it, so...
You might start it, but we'll end the fight.
Yep.
Next, we have the Loki arc.
Which is one of the shortest arcs.
And they're shorter.
All right, Team Natsu took a job performing in a theater. And that's Urza, Gray, Natsu, Lucy, Happy.
Team Natsu.
Yeah.
So Loki, he was one of the members of Fairy Tale. Mm-hmm. He revealed to Lucy that he was actually Leo and that he was about to run out of magic and die because he had been trapped there ever since his master died. Mm-hmm. Right before he died, Lucy wailed and unleashed an astounding amount of magic, summoning all of her spirits and the Celestial Spirit King himself.
Lucy pleaded Leo's case to the king, who granted a pardon to Leo and let him return home. As thanks, Leo gave Lucy his Zodiac key.
Right.
Most of this arc was actually backstory explaining how Leo ended up at Fairy Tale.
Yeah, exactly what happened with him, and then Ares, the ram, as well as Karen, their really cruel master. Mm-hmm. But so now he's Leo. So when he's in his human form, he goes by Loki. But whenever he's in his Leo form, he's working for Lucy, and he has he's the lion, right? So he has lion ears in his hair. He's mostly humanoid.
Yeah, he just has ears and a big hair, I guess. But he wears a nice suit every time.
And he's considered the leader of the Zodiac, which is why he's smart and tactical, I guess.
Yeah.
Also a misogynist.
He's a bit of a ladies' man.
So next we have the Tower of Heaven arc. This is when things get crazy.
Yes, and this is when we learn the majority of the backstory that we ended up learning about Urza
with Urza and Jalal.
Yeah.
Jalal, who's now the slave master.
Yeah.
So Jalal had become a powerful wizard. He created a magical duplicate of himself called Seagrain, who became one of the 10 wizard saints and a member of the Magic Council.
Okay, I completely forgot about this, actually, that he infiltrated the Magic Council.
Not just infiltrated, his duplicate is an upstanding citizen and one of the most powerful wizards in the kingdom of Fiore, despite the fact that his duplicate's not even a real person.
Yeah.
Which means it's not his full power.
It's just a projection of him.
Exactly.
All right, so Altair was also a member of the Magic Council and conspired with Seagrain.
Team Natsu, along with Juvia, went to a resort for a vacation. Because, Juvia's following Gray around at this point because she's smitten with him. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, they were ambushed by a team sent by Jalal from the Tower of Heaven where he resided, which had also been finally completed in its construction. Sho, Simon, and Wally kidnapped Urza, and Miliana kidnapped Happy. These were children that had been imprisoned with Urza.
Yeah.
Urza was the only one to escape.
Mm-hmm. But now they're grown up. And Miliana's great. I like her.
All right. Oh, we should explain. Okay, so Sho, he has card magic. He's a little crazy, I think. The way that he's depicted. He worships Jalal.
Oh, yeah.
And then Simon still has a crush on Urza. He has a metal jaw and he's strong.
Yeah.
I don't think he has magic, does he?
I don't know.
Wally, he has that pixel magic.
Does he?
Yeah, Wally Buchanan. He has that pixel magic with the gun and everything.
Oh.
And then Miliana has cat magic and cat magic weapons.
It's weird.
It's weird, but kind of adorable.
That's not the only reason I like Miliana.
What's the other reason?
She's adorable, yes, but especially later on when you see her, she's...
Oh, you mean when she stops wearing clothes?
Yes.
All right, moving on.
Jalal wanted to use Urza as a sacrifice to revive Zareth, but he told his subordinates that the Tower of Heaven would take them to paradise. Like Miliana and the others, he told them.
Yeah, he told his subordinate. Yeah, the Miliana, Sho, Simon, Wally, all them. Mm-hmm. The rest of Team Natsu used a boat as well as Juvia to then infiltrate the Tower of Heaven.
Because Juvia is actually technically made out of water?
Her magic, she has the water body magic spell. So, her body's composed of water, which makes her, like attacks go through her a lot.
Yes.
Unless you use the right kind of attack. Mm-hmm. They met up with Urza, who convinced her former friends that Jalal had lied to them. So let's just talk it out.
Well, Urza is good at actually talking it out compared to the others. So Jalal hired the Death's Head Caucus, that's weird, Dark Guild, with the swordswoman Ikaruga, the rock star Vidaldus Taka, and the amalgamation Fukuro to defeat Team Natsu and sacrifice Urza. I don't remember them.
These are Dark Guild members, right? They're essentially hired assassins. Mm-hmm. Ikaruga is a magic swordswoman. She has magic swords, and she's really good at them. Vidaldus Taka has rockstar-based magic powers, or audio-based, essentially. And then Fukuro is an amalgamation. Every time he defeats a wizard, he gains their powers. So he's a muscular man with a magic rocket pack and an owl head.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I remember him.
So Simon fought Fukuro. Fukuro, however, won.
Vidaldus used his succubus magic to turn Juvia to his side?
Yes, and made Juvia into a groupie.
Yeah.
Lucy and Aquarius fought Vidaldus and Juvia, but Lucy and Juvia won. She got through to her.
Mm-hmm. Natsu fought Fukuro. Fukuro won and ate Natsu.
Thus gaining fire dragon slayer magic. Yeah,
because that's how he gains his magic. He eats the wizard.
Yes. Gray fought Fukuro, and then Gray won and freed Natsu.
Urza fought Ikaruga, and Urza won.
Her armor trumped the sword. Mm-hmm. Or her sword trumped the sword, because Urza has swords and armor. Mm-hmm. Urza learned that the Magic Council was preparing to fire the Aetherion satellite magic blast to prevent Zareth's revival, so she made an evacuation order from the Tower of Heaven.
And then Urza fought Jalal, and Jalal won.
The Aetherion blasted the tower, but Jalal revealed it was all a ruse that he had perpetrated as Seagrain as part of the Magic Council. Mm-hmm. He had wanted the Aetherion to power the Tower of Heaven to make it work.
Because only a blast from the Aetherion would be enough power to do it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Altair then destroyed the Magic Council's headquarters.
Urza was made the sacrifice, but Natsu saved her just in time.
Natsu fought Jalal, and Natsu won, but Jalal killed Simon in the fight when he tried to protect Urza.
Urza attempted to sacrifice herself to prevent the Tower of Heaven from exploding.
In an alternate timeline, Urza succeeded and saved everyone. The Magic Council posthumously made her a member of the 10 Wizard Saints.
However, Natsu rescued her, and Team Natsu escaped the explosion.
So Sho, Wally, and Miliana decided to travel the world and said farewell.
And everyone went back home happily ever after.
Yeah.
Until the next fight.
So was there an alternate timeline where Urza died?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
She had a vision of it when she was right about to die.
Oh, I see.
And everyone was at her funeral.
Oh, that's sad.
But still, 10 Wizard Saint, I think she deserves the title, even though she lived.
Yeah, because she was awesome.
I mean, we both admitted Urza's our favorite character.
Yes, she is.
All right, well, we got time for another arc. Let's do the Battle of Fairy Tail.
Yeah, all right.
The Fairy Tail Guild Hall was eventually rebuilt.
Yes, and this was after it got destroyed from Phantom Lord.
Yeah, it was, by this point, it's been rebuilt.
Yes. So Makarov convinced Gajeel to join Fairy Tail if Gajeel agreed to spy on his son, Ivan.
Yeah, Makarov had a son named Ivan.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we already went over that in the last episode, but Gajeel's now going to be an agent for Fairy Tail. Mm-hmm. Now they got 2 Dragon Slayers. So then Juvia and Gajeel officially joined Fairy Tail.
Juvia only joined to go after Gray, and also because I guess Phantom Lord was disbanded, so she had nowhere to go.
It's a good place. Mm-hmm. She's not a bad character. I just hate her infatuation.
Yeah, just...
Well, I hate Gray's reaction to it. He never gives her a straight answer.
I know. And it's just like, she's a good girl, okay? She's a good person. He
leads her on sometimes, even though I do think, like, okay, Juvia, he's not into you.
Get over him.
Okay, next.
All right. So Sorcerer Magazine reporter Jason made an embarrassing article about Fairy Tail. Luxus saw people laughing at the article and returned to Fairy Tail with his Thunder Legion, which included Freed Justine, who had enchantment magic, Bixlow, who had soul magic, and Evergreen, who, I don't know.
Fairy magic.
Fairy magic.
Okay, let me explain that a bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Loxus is Makarov's grandson, Ivan's son. Mm-hmm. He's an S-class wizard as well, so he's as strong as Mystic Inner Urza. Mm-hmm. And he's an electric dragon slayer, or a lightning dragon slayer.
Yeah, but he's an artificial one.
Exactly. Now, his Thunder Legion is his crew, is his team, right? Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Team Natsu.
Yeah, and they all have eye-based powers. Mm-hmm. So Freed's enchantments are basically like he can program the universe with magic. Mm-hmm. He can write rules that will then apply to an affected area. Mm-hmm. Bixlow, his soul magic, he has these little souls that he's harvested that can possess inanimate objects and fight for him. Mm-hmm. He can also use his eyes to capture souls. That's how he got them.
Yeah.
And then Evergreen, she has fairy magic that allows her to fly, and her eyes can turn people to stone. Mm-hmm. Kind of like Medusa, I guess.
I
Whatever.
don't know. It's weird.
So, Jet and Droy, which were 2 minor Fairy Tail wizards, Jet had super speed, and Droy had plant magic.
Yes, and they were both on a team with Levy.
Right.
I forget what that team was called.
Levy is like the magic archivist. She's the smartest person there.
Yeah, and she also uses, what is it?
Script magic.
Yeah, script magic.
So anyway, Jet and Droy, they fought Gajeel, and Gajeel let them beat him as penance. They were angry that, what Gajeel had done when he was part of Phantom Lord. Mm-hmm. So they beat him up, and Gajeel led them as a way to say he was sorry.
Yep. All right, so the Miss Fairy Tail pageant was a pageant that the Woman of Fairy Tail competed in.
Groan. Evergreen used her Stone Eyes magic to petrify all of them. Freed used his enchantment magic to create a game throughout the city that formed teammates of Fairy Tail to fight each other. Loxus oversaw the whole thing with electric lacrima that threatened to kill everyone that he called the Thunder Palace.
Yeah, I was around the entirety of Magnolia.
So he essentially made like a game, a tournament bracket for them to fight each other.
Yeah, and Evergreen froze all the women of Fairy Tale, the pageant.
All the pageant contestants. So basically all the attractive women, which is...
all of them. All of them competed in it.
I will give it a pass in that maybe this was just a really misogynistic plan from Loxus. So I give the writers a pass, maybe?
No, because the pageant was still a thing.
Yeah.
Loxus just took advantage of it.
Yeah, so that... I would have been okay with it if they also had a male pageant.
But no, they didn't. Gray would be
Gray
awesome.
would win. He would totally win.
Yes.
He'd just strip in front of them and win.
Yes.
Although maybe, I don't know, they might be a little too puritanical for that.
I'm not sure if Urza was one of the judges or... Yeah.
I think she'd vote for him. Anyway, we're off topic.
Yes.
So Fairy Tale members began fighting each other across the city because of Loxus's game.
All right, so Alzek Connell fought Jet and Joy. Alzek won with his gun magic.
Elfman fought Evergreen. Evergreen won with her fairy magic.
Gray fought Bixlow. Bixlow won with his sea soul magic.
Loxus told Makarov he would end the game if he made Loxus the next guild master.
Yeah. Nab Lasaro and Lockie Olieta fought Bixlow. Bixlow won.
Oh, Nab... I don't even know what magic he has. He barely ever uses it.
They're minor Fairy Tale members.
Lockie has wood magic.
Yes.
Alzak fought Freed, and Freed won with his enchantment magic.
Mm-hmm. Alzak uses gun magic.
We already said that.
Yeah. Urza became unpetrified, so she got out of the petrification because her artificial eye had weakened the magic on her.
If you recall, when she was
really strong.
Yeah, when we were talking about her as a child, she had been injured in one of her eyes and lost use of one of them. So one of her eyes is artificial, therefore the magic had only half affected her. Mm-hmm. Which I thought was a really cool detail.
Yep.
Urza fought Evergreen. Urza won, and the remaining women became unpetrified.
Lucy and Leo fought Bixlow, and Lucy and Leo won.
Levy decoded the enchantments, letting Natsu and Gajiel bypass them, because they had been kept out of the fight.
By the way, an interesting fact about these enchantments, they were only intended to keep people who were over, what was it?
Loxus had made sure that the master Makarov couldn't fight in the game, so one of the enchantments Freed put down is that anyone over the age of 80 could not compete in the game. Inexplicably, that meant that Natsu and Gajiel couldn't compete either, so they were just sitting on the sidelines this whole time.
They were in the guild hall because the enchantment was on the guild hall door.
Locking them inside.
Yeah.
So they were confused about this, like, why isn't it letting us? And they never explained it.
Until way later on.
But we've already done the backstory, so we actually know why.
Yes.
It's because they were born in the X300s.
Yes.
So it was considering them older than 80.
Oh, by the way, should this count as Lucy being kidnapped because she was petrified?
Yes.
All right, so this is 5?
You're the one keeping count.
Yeah, this is 5 because 3 and 4 was in the last arc.
Okay.
And she had already been kidnapped twice before that last arc.
Okay.
Okay, so this is number 5. All right, so Kana fought Juvia. Kana won because Juvia refused to fight. Kana uses...
card magic.
Yeah, card magic.
Elfman fought Freed. Freed won and tortured Elfman, threatening to kill him.
Upon seeing Elfman torture, Mira Jane used her Satan soul for the first time since Lizana's death.
So she turned into her Satan soul form. Mira Jane fought Freed, and Mira Jane kicked his butt.
Mm-hmm. The stress got to Makarov, and he fell ill and visited poor Liusica for treatment.
Yet again.
Mm-hmm.
He's old.
Yeah.
Mistigan fought Loxus. However, neither won, as Urza interrupted the battle and saw Mistigan's face, which was identical to Jalal's face.
Yeah, Urza fought Loxus, but neither won, as Urza left to destroy the Thunder Palace.
Mistigan just ran away after that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Natsu and Gajiel fought Loxus. Natsu and Gajiel nearly won,
Loxus tried to use fairy law, but he failed and he lost.
Yeah, when he tried to use it, it destroys anyone that he considers his enemies, right? He used it, and then no one was defeated.
Because he didn't truly consider any of his guild members enemies.
Right, it's kind of complicated when it's like a civil war.
It revealed his true heart, that he was still, cared about the guild.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's a fair interpretation.
Yeah, I like that.
It's better than, well, I wanted to make a Thanos reference, but there's something dumb in that movie where it's like, the universe says this, and I'm like, really? This one at least makes
Infinity War.
This one at least makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. And I know what you're referencing, and yeah.
He was literally turning on his own family. So naturally,
and he did consider them family because it was fairy tale.
Well, I could see the spell working like you have to be fully convinced that you're your enemies, even if there's a little part of you that's like, I don't know, I still like I have good memories of being with my dad, or my grandpa. Then fairy law just won't work.
Yeah,
and they need to be your enemies, plain and simple.
So Warren Rocco used his telepathy to coordinate a strike against the Thunder Palace.
Loxus visited Makarov when he was recovering, but Makarov exiled Loxus from Fairy Tail for his actions.
Yeah, and then everyone in Fairy Tail had to spend time recovering from all the fights.
Lucy's father visited her to beg for money after he lost his entire fortune. She refused.
Of course. Team Natsu beat up the Dark Guild naked mummy, and Lucy's father apologized to her. Oh, that was the Dark Guild that was after him for debts.
Yep.
And they beat him up. They beat the guild up for her father, and then he apologized to her.
Yeah. I mean, he was being ridiculous. He was like, can I have just, 10 grand to get back on my feet? No.
Yeah, especially after the way he treated Lucy.
And she barely has enough to keep an apartment. Mm-hmm. All right, so how we doing? 10 minutes left.
I don't think we have enough time to get through that arc.
No, we don't have enough time to get through another arc. So why don't we just talk about...
we'll want to really talk about that arc.
So what do you want to talk about now? We'll just, I guess, any feelings that we think about what we've talked about so far.
We're already up to Lucy having gotten kidnapped 5 times in the series.
Okay, well,
let's go back and count.
Well, no, I'm not... I don't want to sit here for the next 10 minutes reading our notes.
Okay, fine. So she got kidnapped in the beginning by the Vulcan. She got kidnapped in the beginning by the fake salamander.
Right.
Then the Vulcan. And then Phantom Lords, Element 4. And then Gagio. And then this time when she was frozen by...
Evergreen.
All
right, so that is 5 times.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that's the reason we kind of hate Lucy and that she never saves herself.
Yes, whereas Urza, whenever she gets in trouble, she always ends up saving herself.
And she hasn't been kidnapped once yet, aside from her enslavement as a child.
Yes.
So, okay, one time. It just happened to be really brutal.
Compared to Lucy's 5.
Lucy's like, oh no, someone's taking me, save me. Urza's like, I was enslaved and I started a revolution and freed us.
Yeah.
And then everyone but me got enslaved again.
It was complicated, okay? She really didn't have much of a choice.
That's why we kept making a positives in our statement, trying to say like, oh, this person, you remember this person? They do this and that. Because we understand it gets complicated with all the names and the different magics and whatnot.
Yeah, it really does. This whole last arc was interesting because I felt like it was a more interesting story than any of the previous arcs because it was about how, actually, never mind. The Tower of Heaven is probably the most interesting arc so far, don't you think?
Yeah.
What's your favorite arc that we've covered?
Well, I told you I like Jalal, so Tower of Heaven introduced Jalal. I didn't like him very much at the time. He seemed kind of a cookie-cutter villain. But I thought it was interesting.
There were hints that he wasn't at the time.
That he was going to be something more. But he was definitely dastardly.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the Tower of Heaven arc is my favorite arc so far. But I'm not sure if it's my favorite arc overall.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
I liked Fukuro. Just his magic. The idea of incorporating other wizards.
Yeah, he was kind of weird.
Eating them wasn't very...
Yeah, that was weird.
We don't know what Fukuro's original form was, but it's evident that whoever he ate to get that jetpack was really into justice. because he kept saying, like, I will kill you for justice.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Something like that. I might be misquoting it, but it was something like that. He kept acting like he was the good guy when he was like an assassin.
I have to admit, the Galuna Island arc was pretty interesting too, but only because it had Gray and Leon's backstory.
Honestly, that thing only started off once Urza showed up. That's the only part I care about. I mean, we got introduced to Ultier with her arc of time, which was cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Although that wasn't revealed until...
we should keep in mind that, like, at one point there were 3 Jalals in this world.
3?
Yeah, because you had Jalal, you had his alternate universe duplicate, Mystigan, and then you also had his magic duplicate, Seagrain.
Yeah, so there were 3 Jalals in this universe at the same time.
So I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, 3 blue-haired dudes with face marks.
They never explain what that face mark's supposed to be.
And they never explained why all 3 of them had it.
Cultural, Japanese.
They were in a completely... all 3 of them grew up in completely different cultures. Well, I guess Seagrain and Jalal were the same person.
Birthmark?
But it was a design.
Designer birthmark with magic genetics? I don't know.
It had to be some kind of magic thing.
Next, we're going to be doing the Arashian Sei, so look forward to that next time.
That should be a really good arc because we talked about the backstory for that arc. The characters are interesting and yeah.
It's a long one. It'll probably take, 15 minutes to do that one. Oh, let's talk about Lucy's spirits.
Oh,
because we didn't get to explain all of them.
I like Lucy's spirits. I don't like Lucy. I like her spirits. They're interesting.
I just wish that Lucy had an ability to fight herself and not just call on them.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think she should learn some kind of secondary magic to protect herself. Kind of like how Mara Jane can pretend to be people, but also can use takeover magic, Demon Soul.
I also don't care for some of their designs, to be honest. Like, I think Sagittarius's design is one of the dumbest.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, I get, like, they're trying to go for a joke. It's like, you thought it was going to be like a centaur or a horseman? No, it's a man in a horse suit. I'm like, okay, ha, 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 but I don't, like, why? It doesn't work.
It was so funny. I kind of agree with you. I kind of really liked their, spoilers, but they have different forms later on.
Oh, we'll see those eventually, but yeah, don't talk about that just yet. That's just going to confuse people.
Okay, fine.
Let's see. Horologium is a clock, a grandfather
yes,
clock.
And Lucy uses him as basically a shield.
Yes.
She sits inside of him and he walks.
And she'll be protected from, the weather, the elements, or sometimes attacks. And yeah, he can help her evade. Also, he can pop up out of his own volition to help save her in the nick of time sometimes.
That's happened.
And she's gone in there while being naked before a few times.
Yeah.
And because, we talked about how she gets undressed all the time.
Yeah.
Forcefully. And what else? He communicates for her.
Yeah.
Because once you're inside of him, you can't hear what she's saying.
So he'll tell them what she's saying.
So like one time they're walking through snow and she's really angry because they didn't tell her they were going to be in a snowy area. So she's like, and Horologium goes, the lady inside me is inquiring, why do you do this thing to me? Why did you not tell me that it was going to be cold? The young lady inquires.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, but there you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. We also had Crux.
He's really interesting.
He's essentially,
an encyclopedia
of celestial magic.
Yeah.
He's a living cross who sleeps all the time.
Yes. And Lyra is basically plays the harp.
Yep.
She sings.
Which is interesting that they have a celestial spirit that does something other than fight. I mean, Crux doesn't fight.
I think Lyra can put people to sleep with her playing.
She can, although I don't think that's ever really been a thing. But she can also, the best use of her magic is to essentially give people a song that makes them joyous and happy. It's supposed to be awe-inspiring beauty. And then you have Plu, the Nickera little dog thing.
Yeah.
They call it a dog, but it's not a dog at all.
I know. It's like a little snow person.
But you know what I really like about Plue, though?
What?
Anytime Lucy's going against somebody who has some type of like mirror magic and like, I mean, I'm just saying that as a phrase, but like if someone has magic that uses your own strength against you, which has happened a few times, right?
Yeah,
Like-
she'll just use Plue
Like-
because he's such a weak little thing.
Like Sherry, for example, in the Galuna Island, she had doll magic, right? So when she would fight Lucy, she could turn her own spirits against her because she could like puppet them. Like she's like a puppeteer. So whenever she would send out Plue, like, okay, make Plue hit me. He's like a little 2-foot tall little creature. It's gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, they found a way around that in the fight, but you know, I like how Plue, like, if you guys play Pokemon at all and you fight like in Pokemon battles, Plue is like the little weak Pokemon, like someone sends out like a big strong guy. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna send out Caterpie, kill it, give me an extra turn to prepare for my next move. So that's what Plue is. She sends out Plue. It's like, okay, here, this is my weakest one that I keep around literally just for situations like this.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it when Natsu punched Yuka, because Yuka's like, oh, I have magic nullification. You cannot use magic within my field. And Natsu's like, punch.
Yeah, that was really funny because he really couldn't take a punch, and Natsu's just like, dude, I'm ripped. I fight. I have fire magic, yeah, but I also literally fight.
How
when
did
I use it?
How did he ever expect to win a fight? Like,
Yeah, I know. Like, Natsu can just beat the shit out of
no,
you.
but like anyone, like, you nullify someone's magic, it's like, that doesn't end the fight. That just means we have to go to more, you know, fisted means.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and you're not muscular, so
And also, do they, like, if they have a weapon that's not magic, they could still stab you.
exactly.
Like, even if you could dispel or the swords and armor and stuff, like, Freed carries around a rapier. The rapier isn't magic. It's just a tool he uses.
Exactly.
So, if Freed was going up against him, he could just be like, okay,
Stab.
on guard, stab.
Stab, stab.
Yeah.
So, I guess we are done here. Next time, we will do a Rashian Sace. Oh, wait, what guild logo should we use for this? Maybe Phantom Lord?
Sure.
We should do that for the...
Yeah, Phantom Lord. They're the most important ones.
I don't want to use the Tower of Heaven one. It's blah.
Yeah, all right. Phantom Lord.
All right. This is Fairy Tale. This is on Game Theorem. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. We have an email at gametheorems@gmail.com if you want to contact us, feedback, questions, suggestions. And, in case any of you guys were wondering about the announcement we made last episode about trying to get me a gig, that didn't work. But I really appreciate those of you that ended up trying. And so, yeah, if you guys ever have a suggestion for an episode, let me know. I'll take yours more seriously since you guys are true fans.
Yeah.
I should mention who you guys were.
Do you not remember?
Kira, talk while I look it up. The other one guy was Gamers Republic. The other guy was like Aria. Talk.
Okay. I'm talking while Kyle searches. I'm talking while Kyle searches.
That's not helpful, Kira.
Okay.
Aiden.
Aiden.
There we go. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.